and welcome to Add More Zest. My name's Rebecca, also known as 4Kids at 147. Happy 15th of December, everybody. I'm working with a mini tray from September of 2022 today, and I have a pen that was gifted to me by Brianne and her boys. So thanks to them again for this. We are on day 15. We are filling in a little gap. We're framing in Father Christmas for today. Okay, let's get my diamonds out. I'm trying to think if there was anything that I wanted to update you all on before we started, but I can't think of anything. If it will come back to me, it will come back to me. I have finished my painting I Choose You, though, from Diamond Art Studio. That has been finished. I managed to finish it last night. Luna had the groomers. And yeah, while she had the groomers, I got all sorts of things done. But then when she comes back, while she's okay in the groomers, she likes to have snuggles when she comes back. So I made a start on trying to finish I Choose You and just kept going. I was so close. So that de-kitting will come between Christmas and me getting back from Australia. At some point I will get that done, hopefully in preparation. That's my hope. I did lose that diamond. I thought I'd managed to actually pick it up out the tray. Yeah, so I have been reading your comments on my question as to whether to do one of the companies that I've been doing unboxings from, but I haven't actually worked on one of their paintings, whether to sneak those in. The general consensus seems to be yes. There are a few varieties of that, and no doubt you'll hear those comments in upcoming videos when I get to them in the timeline. There is a few comments that say to pop the other companies in a wheel to decide which one. And others saying do alternate, so do one from another company, then let your decision wheel choose, and then do one from another company. Because I do have a couple. The first one from Oraloa is on my other channel. I have unboxed one of those, and there's another one of those coming again between Christmas and me returning from Australia, so stay tuned to see some of their other designs. So I think I will kit up a one from Carrot.art. There is one that I'm actually really eager to do. There is a few that I really like the look of, but there is one that I really want to see what it looks like finished. So I'm going to do that one, I think. I think I'm just going to choose rather than set up another wheel. But the kitting up for that will hopefully come in between as well, the Christmas and New Year. But I personally, when I do get to diamond paint now, I am going to work on my mystery kit from Q Deals, which is my smaller painting that's kitted up, and I'm going to see if I can get that one done. Because I still have no idea what the image is, but I've only done the bottom row so far. Just done the bottom row of the painting. If I remember at the end of this video, when I'm zoomed back out, I will show you what I have so far. It is not loads. I did think about trying to get more of it done and get it finished before my large painting, but it didn't end up happening. I did some, but I didn't do all of it. So that's what I'll move on to for my nighttime diamond painting until my next big one is kitted up. Or until I get on a plane, whichever may happen first. But comments, questions, chit chat. Anne, she says, at the rate people are buying your items, she says you may have to consider a small metal shed outside, she says, for storing stock at some point. She said counting on using a child's room while they're at university will be very limited. Yeah, we have looked into that as well. We have got quite a large garden. We're very blessed with a large garden. So we have talked about having something in the garden for storing stock. My only, in effect, fear with it, or necessity needed, is I would want it to have some sort of climate control. Just due to a lot of the products that we have, the temperature fluctuations and how cold we are at the moment, it may not work for everything. So yeah, jury's still out on that one, but I'm sure I'll let you know if any decisions are finally made. We may look at getting some sort of shed or garden room that then can be fully insulated and stuff, so that things will be a-okay. We just need to look into it a bit more. Right, my borders are done. So I'm going to do my white, then my black, and then I'll bring in the colour. So I've got the last of the white out of this pot with all my little bits. So let's get the white on the board, and then I can get rid of the little bits. Though that one has 2 bits attached to it. It's just some of the tiny bits that are done in production of the diamonds. But that's okay, because the diamonds themselves are all perfect. I think we just have the remnants of the last of a few white diamonds in the bottom. Jackie, she says if she remembers correctly, she says there is an acid-free sticky board that you can buy to attach your cross stitch to then frame it. Oh, that's a good idea, Jackie. Thank you. I will go and look into that. So maybe I can get some of that ordered, and when it arrives I can frame that better. That sounds like a good idea, in the fact that I can get it all nice, straight, stuck down, not moving, and then trim it. Because I do have quite a lot of material around it, and I did purposefully order more than I maybe would have done. If I was cross-stitching constantly, I probably wouldn't have had such a big border, but I knew it would be something that would take me a while to do. And I knew that framing it is better with more material, so I decided to pay the extra cost to go for a bigger piece of material and have loads extra. I still started in the middle, just so that I would have that ease to be able to stretch it, frame it, and if it did take me a while and it got frayed, I wouldn't panic about it getting too close to the actual cross stitch work that I'd done. Cat Lady, she says day 11. She has said she has now opened her Advent. She said she's only now opened her Advent. She said today has been so busy. She said thank you for the Advent. She said she has thoroughly enjoyed opening her 12-day Advent, and she's sure that everything will be used. She said it's made a nice change to open an Advent for herself. She said her kids are now grown up and don't live with them. So now to have a small treat each day, she said, is lovely. As of the 11th, when this comment was made, she said there's no snow in South Yorkshire yet, but her mum is in South Wales and has had a few inches. Oh, we didn't quite get to the point of having inches. You'd be lucky if we had a centimetre. for our snow, but as I say, it's very rare that we get snow. Quite often other parts of the country will get snow, but not us. I think the cold snap has been a proper snap. And yeah, timed with a rainstorm, and there you go, big flakes of snow for albeit pretty much only one day, maybe two, that we got a light dusting of snow. Now we just tend to get some frost, and the frost tends to stay and linger for quite a while in the day. It doesn't even really go. It doesn't get warm enough for the frost to go away. All Things Crafty by Kaz. She says her husband's favourite square is 22, which is his birth date, and hers, and 25, sorry, hers is square 9, which was the gorgeous snow globe. I can't remember what 22 is now. I kind of want to look, but I kind of feel like it's cheating. Oh, 22 is a polar bear. Oh, that will be a fun one to do. Little polar bear. Jo, she says the penguin is so cute. She says she thinks it is her favourite one so far. Just trying to get my last 2 diamonds to go the right way up so that I can get rid of these bits in the bottom, which are the bottom of all the bags, or the bag of diamonds that I opened, because I poured into this one first and then poured my extras into the other one. So I shouldn't have anywhere near as many. Oh, see, I have none, if any, hardly any, if any, in this tray now. She says for the cross stitch, she has reached 80% from her original 50% that she did during our Heaven and Earth Design August. That's when she did it. I thought it was June, but then I kept thinking, no, that seems so long ago. It was when I did Heaven and Earth Design August, where I worked a section a day, plus extra ones when I filmed videos on it, on my Heaven and Earth Design project. She said then she took a 2-month break. She's currently at 91%. And by my calculation, she says she will be done in about a week at the current pace. She says, thank you for the wonderful waffle, Rebecca and the company. Well done on potentially getting your Heaven and Earth design completed in 2022. My goal is definitely 2023. It is not happening in 2022 at all. All Things Crafty by Kaz. She says she has both of the Admore Zest trays, the Admore Zest and the Zesty size trays. She said depending on the diamond painting, of the size of the diamond painting, she says if there's a lot of colour blocking, she uses the Admore Zest tray. And if she's working on a mini diamond painting, she uses the Zesty tray. That's very much what I do. I tend to flip between the two of them. I think they both have a place for me. I enjoy using both of them. Sometimes I do get stuck. I say stuck, probably lazy for changing my tray, and tend to stick to one size for a bit. So everything's possible with one size. But when I'm on form, then when I have a lot of diamonds to put down, I get out my bigger tray. And when I just have a few, I use my Zesty. I tend to find it can control how many I tip into it a little bit more. Small tray, small pour. Colleen says, hi Rebecca, what would you do if you ran out of diamonds? So if I ran out of diamonds for any painting, depending on by how many, would depend on whether I would contact the company in relation to getting any replacements. If it was by a lot, then I would contact the company, if not anything else, because of the fact that there's something completely wrong with the way their diamonds are counted and figured out, if there is a huge amount missing. If it's only one or two, then I won't always contact the company in relation to that, just because I may well have lost far many, which I often do, especially when working on my easel. If they drop off my pen, they tend to go on the floor. I often have accidents where I end up knocking them all over myself, and there is no way that I could say that I had managed to pick them all up. But my first stop, if I ran out, whether I contacted the company or not, would be my spares box to see if there was any in there. I have quite a lot of the DMC numbers now in spares, so more than likely I would find what I needed. If by any weird twist of fate I happen to have run out of a colour that I did not have in my spares box, then my first stop would be the Got Diamonds Facebook group, which is Got Diamonds, and for me it's Got Diamonds UK it's called. There tends to be a few of them in various countries, so there'll be a Got Diamonds US, a Got Diamonds Canada, something similar, of the similar basis, where people are more than happy to send replacement diamonds if they have them, and they're shipped locally, which one means I don't have to wait too long, and second means it doesn't cost an astronomical amount in postage. And that's what I actually did with one of mine that I ran out of. It was nearer the beginning of my diamond painting journey, and I actually did not have any. And I think it may have been something like 995 or 996 that I ran out of, which of course now I have an abundance. But at the time, I hadn't had many paintings with that number in, so I didn't have any. And a very kind lady sent me a pack. I think I was only missing about 6, so it was not a lot at all. But she sent me a pack of diamonds so that I could finish off. So that would be the steps that I would take personally. I know I can ask on the group, and there are people that have sometimes asked on my Facebook group if they, aren't a member of another group, and I'm more than happy with that, as long as people make sure they put what country they are in. It's not fair to not put the country. Somebody offers diamonds and then they realise that the person is in a country that it will cost them a lot to send, and then potentially feel as though they can't back out of the offer. So all I ask is that if people do ask in the group, they put what country they're in, so that people are fully aware. If they offer to send diamonds, they're sending them to another country, and the cost that's involved. Because more often than not, these Got Diamond groups, the person who's gifting them to you pays for postage. It's a general rule that it's not a matter of money trading hands, it's a matter of people being nice. So yeah, that would be what I'd do if I ran out. Luckily, I haven't for a while. Haven't run out on any of my paintings for quite a while. So I think companies are getting really good at making sure there is plenty of diamonds available. Liz, she says, thanks again, Rebecca. She says she loves hearing how the business started. Yeah, it sort of rolled into a snowball and is now getting into a boulder. She said she finished her day 11 before I did. She said, loving how it's coming together. She said each image is a nice surprise, as she hasn't really looked at the picture it properly, like in too much detail. She says she really likes day 10, which is our little penguin up here. She said because he looks so happy. She said she's caught up on days 10 and 11 today, as she spent yesterday and part of today seeing friends and family before Christmas. She said have a lovely evening, and it's lovely to hear how Luna loved the snow. Yeah, she's okay. Every now and then when we, I let her outside, she doesn't want to come back in. And quite often I just catch her eating parts of snow or what is now primarily ice. She just likes to break it up and eat it. Her water bowl doesn't need filling as much, that's for sure. She's too busy eating the ice. Helen, she says, your painting is coming together beautifully. Thank you, Helen. She says, it's fun to think that you're going to be over my side of the world, she said, after Christmas, and have a summer Christmas this year. She said, enjoy the time with your family. Should be good. It's going to be very different, especially if they end up with any 30, 40 degree days while we're over there, because it can sometimes get rather hot. So yeah, it's definitely going to feel very different, especially because we are having a second Christmas day while we're there. But it will be nice for my toes to have a good thaw. That's the one thing that always seems to feel cold for me at the moment. I love it when I get out the bath and I'm all toasty warm. But they just seem to get cold too quick in the morning, and then they stay cold for most of the day. Yeah, it'll be different. Be nice, but different. Slot says, thank you for the story. They said they love how things blossomed for you. Said, here's to the continued success in the new year, from Lindsay. Thank you, Lindsay. Say it's grown, but it's been great sort of experiencing the growth as well. It's been a nice slow and steady grow. I am going to have to tip more diamonds in, but again, I'm just trying to use up what's in my tray before I tip in more. That's just a personality trait that makes me want to empty the tray before I add more in. But I still have more to go. Jeanette, she says, hi, Rebecca. She says, when you were talking about the trashy tray, she said, would it be possible for you guys to put the initials AMZ on the end of it? She said, it's only a suggestion. She says, thank you for your hard work and your continuing success with your shop. Yeah, it was the AMZ that we tried to put on. I don't think there is any chance that we would get the full Add More Zest on, but we did try putting AMZ on the end of the tray. However, due to the way 3D printers work, they put layers on. And there's no way, no practical way without making the print time astronomical to make those layers in effect thinner. So according to the layer height and how many were needed, it just didn't look right. It didn't look good enough. So we decided to not bother with the AMC. We could have potentially put it on another part of the tray, but yeah, we like how they look at the moment. We're happy with the quality. It's always about getting the right quality. Amanda, she said she was just able to order a couple of things from your shop. She says she's been wanting to try the trays. She said, but she thought the shipping would be more expensive. and she would always miss out on tray launches. We do try to keep our shipping costs as low as possible. Amanda, what we tend to do is it tends to be at cost, pretty much at cost. On the smaller orders, so like the lowest shipping rate, there is a small amount on there to go towards the packing supplies. But as soon as you get into sort of the second rate of shipping, i.e. the next weight bracket, that disappears and you are just charged the cost of shipping. Because then we figure we can absorb the cost of the packaging if multiple prices are ordered, or it's definitely easier to absorb the price of the shipping for that. So yeah, we just keep shipping prices at what it costs us to get it to wherever it needs to go. Because yeah, unfortunately, it is not always cheap to send stuff all over the world. In fact, sometimes we do lose out on shipping, but they tend to be the really big orders because we do have a cap on shipping. We have a cap limit for pretty much all, I think all countries. We do have a cap on shipping that is the maximum it will reach. And that's when we tend to go by courier, and then occasionally we do lose out, but it is what it is. Just trying to keep the prices as low as we can, basically. She says she was finally able to snag a purple tray, and she also ordered a logbook. In that case, you should have hit just the cost of shipping charge. She says she can't wait for them to arrive. She said she does live way down the bottom of the US, so she's sure it will be at least a couple of weeks. She says, but that's okay. Well, it is on its way to you. On its way, and hopefully it's already made it across the pond. And it's just processing its way through customs and stuff, which can be the longest. We're on strike day 2 of Royal Mail's 2-day strike for this week. Oh, the joys. And one item that I have been, one item that I have been waiting to arrive that has been stuck in customs, which I'm sure I've discussed before, finally decided to update that it arrived in my local sorting office yesterday, even though I believe it's been sat there for a bit longer than that. But yeah, so it arrived in my, not yesterday, the day before. It arrived on the 13th in my local sorting office, and therefore will not be delivered these 2 strike days. So the earliest I am probably going to get my mitts on it is Friday, unless they are even more behind than I thought, and then it could be Saturday or even next week. I'm trying my patience skills. I'm trying my best. Ickle Piglet says, hi Rebecca, your cross stitch is adorable. Thank you. I do love it. It does make me smile every time I see it. It's currently on the windowsill. Nancy says, congratulations on reaching 16,000. She says, I like our penguin today. So that's a comment from day 10. She says, see you tomorrow. Trying to work out, I think I'm getting further behind on comments rather than ahead. I thought I was doing quite well. Oh, well, I'm sure it will give me the opportunity to have a few longer whip and chats. I will trim down some of the comments and do a longer whip and chat when I return, jet lag allowing. Lady Dax, she says she does admit that they pinched my idea of brown paper bags for the advents, for the ones they did for each other and family. She says we've had very positive feedback on that system. She says they love it. Yeah, it looks elegant and it's recyclable, which is always good. And yeah, I think it looks classy. That's what I think. She says she's excited to see what things you will come up with to launch, she said, in the following year. She says, I don't suppose you would think about stocking Xyron refills. She said, if available. She says they're getting so difficult to get in the UK. She says for less than £30 with P&P. To give you an update, Lady Dax, I did see your comment come through on email. I have been in touch with Xyron, who has advised me, well, I got in touch with Xyron directly. They've advised me they don't supply to UK. However, they have given me details for their UK distributor, I think. I'm not sure if they distribute just their products, or if they even do distribution. But basically, they've given me a contact in the UK. I have reached out to them. I'm just waiting a response. So I am looking into whether we can stock the Xyron. I need to find out first off whether we can, and then I will need to work out how we can incorporate it in relation to shipping, because they won't fit as standard in our standard boxes. So I need to work out how I can make the shipping go right on the website if we can get them. But I'm working on it. She also says, we have snow here in London this evening, she says, and P Jelly is well excited. She says, we now have a 6-foot snowman outside our lounge window. She said, built by her and the 4 students who live in the flat above us. Love it. It's amazing how snow can turn people into children. We didn't have enough to even think about building a snowman. Seriously, we'd be lucky if we had a centimetre of snow. It's probably near a half a centimetre of snow. But yeah, it did bring the excitement levels when the big snowflakes started coming down. There was definitely some whoop whoops. Linda, she says she's done a couple of cross stitches, she says, that had melded colours. She says plus quarter, half and 3/4 stitches and multiple colour back stitching. She says they take a huge amount of concentration. Yes, they do. She says, but they're well worth it in the end. I agree on that. If you love the image enough, it is well worth doing all those messing about stitches and messing about with threads. It's if you don't love the image, your heart just doesn't tend to be in it. But I loved my image. Right, let's go for some yellow. I need my anchor. I am waiting on the ABs, or the AB. This glue dot is quite sticky. It's not a fresh one I've put in this time. It's from the last time I used it, but it is still quite tacky. Linda says she doesn't have the eyesight to do much cross stitch these days. She says diamond painting is a good replacement to cross stitch and it's easier on her eyes. Yeah, it definitely helps with the bigger symbols, and the symbols being on the diamond painting as well, because I think quite often what can't help, especially if you're struggling to see it with cross stitch, is the movement between the pattern and the material. You've got that level of concentration. And if you can't see it as well, it can make the whole thing harder. Lisa, she says, just yesterday, she said she put up a video about all the different mini diamond paintings, she said, from Paint Gem. She said she talked about my YouTube channel and your website as she was showing how they could store the completed paintings. She said she had quite a few comments indicating that they may be coming over to your shop for some stickers, she says, so I hope I sent some business your way. Thank you. I did get a couple of orders that contained the Paint Gem minis. There has been a couple that was Monday, Tuesday, I think. They came through. Just a few ones. She says, regarding the comment, she said someone made about making mini diamond paintings. She said, I think this would be a fantastic idea. She said it would be awesome if you could find someone to manufacture and sell them. She says, while she absolutely loves the ones from Paint Gem, she says they are quite expensive for what you get. Yeah, that I don't know if that's something that we could do on a permanent basis. It may be something we may be able to see if we can do for one of our events. However, the shop tends to be more accessories than actual diamond paintings, bar those events. Because there are quite a few. But we have got a few different things in the works for limited times. So never say never. We will see what will happen in relation to those. Ninaya says, the way you care, she says, about not only your profit in the shop, but going out of your way to keep the prices at a reasonable rate, she said, is why she no longer looks for giveaways. She says she doesn't think it's right to dump that kind of shipping on you. She says, being as she's in the US, because I'm a greedy little git, she says. Well, it's one of those, you know, I like doing giveaways. I like incorporating that little bit of a chance to win something. But to be honest, more often than not, it's quicker for us. It's less of a time journey to do the mystery bags, which people can get for cheaper. So they still get a bargain. And shipping is paid according to weight, though for giveaways I do send them slower post, so the cost isn't as big, but we do the odd little giveaway in different ways. We just don't tend to shout about them. There are a few people that will be aware of things that we have gifted for various reasons. And yeah, just try and bring a smile to some people's faces for other things as and when we can. Yeah. And Nellie, she says, hi Rebecca. She says she's going to do a challenge for herself. She says for next year, she says she's going to plan to do a diamond painting and see exactly how long it takes her. She's wanted to do for a few years. Yeah, I like setting yourself a challenge. I set myself some challenges at the beginning of this year. I'm not sure if I want to revisit all of them and see whether I did. I know one was in relation to using ABs more. I did absolutely fantastic on it in the June waffle with the mini paintings. I can't say I've done any better the rest of the year. So yeah, I think I'm going to stick with one challenge for next year. I'm going to have one challenge and therefore it will be easier to keep at the forefront of my mind, and that is to complete my Heaven and Earth design. One of my Heaven and Earth designs. I think that's going to be my plan. The big painting needs to be finished. Nicola says it might be nice to bring out Zesty Wolf and this Advent again, she says, but in a different colourway. Oh, there are so many options that we could do to bring out for Zesty Wolf and the Advent. It would be nice to have Zesty Wolf in its original form again, and potentially in another colourway, and potentially in square. Same with the Advent in its original form for those that missed out, and in turn in another colourway for those that prefer a different colourway. Sorry if I can get my English words out, and not just my Rebecca words. The thing that's always the problem with that, and just to be transparent why things don't always happen, is how many do you order? So, you know, you're always playing, especially as a small business, is how many do I order? How many is too many? You know, how popular is another colourway going to be? When we've done one colourway, how much is the square Zesty Wolf going to sell if we've had the round? In turn, if we brought out another colourway, would nobody want the original one in a square? It's always, you know, trying to find what works best. So I am going to take on board the fact that people do want more of an opportunity to purchase these paintings that have been, you know, in effect very limited. They have sold out rather quickly, albeit Zesty Wolf didn't sell as quick. There are new people to diamond painting all the time that would not have had the opportunity to get Zesty Wolf for whatever reason. So I'll take those on, but I'll take those on board. But I think things might trickle through. So it might be that we do one thing and then we do another, and sort of see how it goes. Check we're not having too much stock left over, things like that, before moving on to the next. And I finished my ABs. That was quicker today. I'm sure that was quicker today, and I don't know why. And I've got a black little diamond over here. It decided to sit itself on my cover paper. I've probably shaken something too hard. But day 15 is done. I kind of want to do day 24 now so I can see a full block, even though 25 is not done. But yeah, I feel like I've not got through that many questions today, but maybe there'll be more tomorrow. Let's pull it back down. Oh, look at that. I am loving it. It's amazing how much it really does come to life once you put those diamonds on, and seeing the sparkle in places. Oh, loving it, loving it. Okay, sorry, I keep getting too excited. Oh, we're actually going up to the top. We're going to get another little connector bit going on tomorrow with our little Santa. Will be waiting in the middle till the end. I just keep looking over it. Okay, I'm getting far too excited, but yeah, I'm really enjoying doing this. Though this is a countdown to me needing to get my suitcase packed, which I'm nowhere near done yet. But Karis is further behind than me, and she's going for a year, so that's letting me off the hook a little bit. Anyway, day 15 is done. Seemed to be a very quick one, that one, for some reason. But anyway, thank you all so much for joining me. Please join me tomorrow while I do day 16 and waffle through a bit more, and I will speak to you all again tomorrow.